Hey everybody, today this is part one of many. I don't know how many I'm going to make, but this is about unequally yoked relationships, marriage, jobs, friendships, just unequally yoked in general. Now, there's a Bible verse before I get started with what I'm about to say. That's in 2 Corinthians 6 chapter 14 verse, and it says, "Do not be unequally yoked with unbelievers. For what partnership has righteousness with lawlessness? Or what fellowship has light with darkness? What accord has Christ with Belial? Or what portion does a believer share with an unbeliever? What agreement has the temple of God with idols? We are the temple of the living God, as God has said." So, with that portion of it being mentioned, I want to talk about the reason why are having struggles with your jobs, relationships, commitments with friends. Do you feel tired, weighed down? Do you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm putting so much into this? Yet, these people at this work environment, or these people in this relationship, or these people as my friend, is not putting the same amount of equal strength with the commitment of being a unit. Well, that's because you guys are unequally yoked. Regardless of the situation, it is unequally yoked, and we must not partnership with that. Um, a lot of people are having a lot of struggles, and they don't understand, why is this not working for me? Why is this not being um, the pursuit of happiness the way I dreamed it would be, or the way I wanted it to be? And yet I find myself lonely, depressed, neglected, or just let down. Well, that's because you decided to pair up with something for the quick happiness that you thought you were going to get long term wise. For an example, you chose a job and you said, "Yeah, I'm going to make this money. They're going to pay me all this money." Yet I don't like the work that they're telling me I have to do, but it's all about the money. Yet you get into this field and the money is great, and then you're tired mentally. The struggle is there. You're doing more work than what the payment is being issued to you, and you're like, it's not worth it. This is not worth it. I don't want to collect this money anymore. This is too much work for me. They're not paying me enough. Well, it's because you chose to do something quick. It didn't level out with what you needed to do and what you were structured to do, so there's the weight on you. So, with that being said, that job, that employer has become unequally yoked, but it was already unequally yoked from the beginning. Yet you knew this, but these were red flags from the get go. You had all the signs from the beginning to tell you, no, don't pick this job. This job is not going to make you happy. But you thought that temporary fix was going to satisfy you for that moment, and maybe long term wise, because you always hear people say, hey, if I make $100 an hour, I don't care what they tell me to do, I'm going to do it. But actually, if you get that $100 an hour job, and they're telling you to do everything up under the sun, you're going to eventually say, this is not worth my time, my commitment, or the obligations that they set out for me to do. It's too much work, and I'm not about to go ahead and do that. Yet, if you found an employer that did what they said your job duties were, and you enjoyed your job, it wouldn't be a weight to you, okay? It will not be unequally yoked because you guys match. That job match what you were looking for. Just like your friendships. You ever had a friend that you've had probably since elementary school, middle school, high school, and you always, this is my best friend. We did everything together, but then someone grew more ambitious than the other. Someone grew more motivated than the other, and the other one was just content. Or maybe that other one did not just strive as much as you did, and you had a lot more to show for it. Whether it was monetary wise, whether it is just the dignity of yourself, you just show a little bit more character within yourself. Yet this person always is depressed. They always have a financial problem. They always have a situation where you got to help them get out of relationships, and it becomes a burden on you. But yet they can't help you in the same regard as you can help them. That's unequally yoked. Yes, we can help out our friends, But if it's draining our energy to the point where we're depleted, then that's not where we're supposed to be. And guess what? We weren't supposed to be there from the beginning. But a lot of us make short-term obligations long-term commitments. And that right there is what I want to really talk about. The unequally yoked with unbelievers. Now, the Bible reference spiritually unequally yoked, but they use the comparison of an ox and a donkey, how you can tie those two together to plow a field, but the ox will put in more work than the donkey because the donkey is just not built or made to plow the field. So why would you compare two differences together to make it a whole? And it's not going to happen. And that's where we fail in our relationships, with our employers, with our friends, with our marriages, with our relationships. We as people need to stop trying to make something out of nothing, okay? Compare and pair up two oxen, pair up two donkeys. That makes sense. But to put something strong with something weak, something ambitious with something non-ambitious, something that would take forth an effort with something that doesn't take forth an effort, you don't want to put those two things together, because someone's going to feel like they're putting in too much work, and someone's going to feel like you pulling them in a direction that they don't want to go because I am not built for this type of stuff. And they don't have to tell you they're not built for this. Your job doesn't tell you this is not working out for you. You have the only right to tell yourself if it's made for you. You know how you feel. You know what depression is. You know what weight is. And if you're feeling like the weight of the world is all on you in something that's supposed to be a duo, and what I mean by that, something that requires more than just you for assistance, for togetherness, employer, friendships, marriage, whatever you're putting together. And if you're drained from that, those are questions you need to ask yourself. Is this where I need to be? And can I carry this out for the duration? And if I do, will I become sicker, weaker? And for them, what is it like for their end? They're trying to always meet up to the par where you're at, but they're just not capable of doing it, or they're resistant of doing that, or they just don't want to do it. Okay? So still, once and again, unequally yoked. So put your faith in Jesus. Step out on faith. Don't worry about what's going on in this world. A lot of people say, I got bills I gotta pay. I've got children. I have a car note. I have whatever it is. And I just can't walk away. I can't walk away from this job. I can't walk away from this lifestyle. I can't walk away from this friendship. We've been in a friendship for over 30, 40 years. They're the ones that helped me with my business or to get me off my feet. I just can't leave it like that. But yet, they're not doing anything else to make you go further. So it's time for you to make a decision as to what is weighing you down. What is dragging you back? What is keeping you set back? Are you hindered in things that you could do, but you can't do them now? Because you're waiting on someone else to get where you are, and probably they don't have no intentions on getting there, or maybe they do, they just don't know how. And if they don't know how, you can show them and tell them, but if they're not equally yoked and understanding of that, they won't do it. They're not gonna follow it. You can try all day. It's just gotta be someone who's ready to change in heart, in spirit, and in mind. So unequally yoked. Being unequally yoked is not good. The Bible, Paul says that if you are in a situation where you're unequally yoked, try to make the best of it if that person, the unbeliever, is willing to partake in that lifestyle with you. For they may be made holy under you. However, it's going to be a struggle and a fight spiritually. And yes, it will weigh you down if you let the enemy show you the unequal parts in it. But if you focus on Jesus and what he said your part in all of this is, then you shall overcome that situation, whether it be a change of heart for that other person, whether it be that your focus is solely on Christ and you do everything on your part, because God said you will reap the benefits of your suffering because I am here while you suffer. Now, those aren't exact words, but they are in the Bible. You just have to Google that, Google it. But by all means, you will reap the benefit from it, or he may just take you away from that. So, with all of that being said, know that God sees it before you have seen it, and maybe it was constructed for you to be there. He can turn any misery, any destruction into a miracle and a blessing. He's God. He may have placed you there or allow you to be in that situation so that you learn a valuable lesson. Maybe it's your self-esteem you need to check. Maybe it's your well-being you need to check, your integrity, your moderation for living. Maybe that's some things you need to check within yourself. And just say that, Lord, I'm going to step out on faith. And wherever you take this relationship, this job, this marriage, this commitment that I have with whatever it is I committed to, wherever you allow me to go with it, there shall I be, and do your work in it. And look at it like that. Okay? So that's about all I want to really talk about was the unequally yoked relationships. People are struggling every day within broken homes, broken marriages, broken jobs, and they feel like they're obligated to stay. You don't have to stay. You really don't. You can step out on faith and allow the Lord to do the rest. You can live up to the terms that God asks you to do while you're in that situation, and he might dismiss everything else around you. But believe in him that he will put you in the situation that you need to be in during the time you need to be. Everything's done in decent and in order, in a timely fashion. God is always on time. Just remember that.